Everybody, good morning. So we got channel members Rob, Ivan, Jerry, Will, Craig, Sergio, Pauline, and Scott, Svenborn, Arturo, Frank. Good to see you this morning. Looks like Trump's supposed to sign an executive order on nuclear stuff this morning. That's interesting. Saw a big spike in some of those. I mean, big's all relative, right? Big spike in some of those overnight. Seeing ES spill it on off. Getting close to the daily roadmap line. And I tell you what, I told you we were going down. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I get lucky. Lucky. Right in that 56 or 5760 target. Anybody surprised? Right in there. Holy schmoly. Right there. I can't believe it. Can't believe it. So looking at some of the nuclear stuff. CCJ. Look at this. Nice little pop. Couple bucks. Let's check it out. Let's see where we are. Right? What do we expect to happen here? What do we expect to happen? Let's pull that down. So we're in this danger zone here. This is to be a curious point here. Can we push this on out? 67, or are we going to reject these highs here and make a third leg down? That is indeed the question. And based on this chart, that looks a lot like we're going to keep doing this for now. Now, what would I expect? We got that low. We got this high around 55, 60-ish, which is right at the... We've seen a lot of stuff poke through the 76 and then reverse hard. So if we retrace somewhere back down in this vicinity, right around 40, that would be bullish for going higher. Don't mean to be the bearer of bad news, but be careful on CCJ, URA. Still long this one. And still got my upside up there. Look for a little pop. UEC, Uranium Energy Corp. Let's go with that high. Let's go with this low. Same pattern all the time. If you don't know the pattern, go watch yesterday's video. Went through it quite a bit yesterday. Quite extensively. So this is low price stuff. Bouncing off of that, even though we're getting a move back into it. Be careful. That can lead to a bigger downside. Right there. Now, if we can get above this stuff up here, potentially reach up to 10. This is low price stuff and doesn't always follow the pattern. That's the caution there. Oklo, we're going to poke up through that resistance. 67 could be an upside here. Could be. I would watch out for this 48 right there. We could pull back, revisit here one more time before we go ramping. Just because we get approvals on stuff doesn't mean that we're going blasting off higher. Now, interesting, CCJ right here. They own 49% of Westinghouse. So not only are they potentially the world's second, I mean, they are the world's second largest producer of uranium, but they also own 49% of Westinghouse, which produces most of the world's nuclear reactors, traditional nuclear reactors. So right there, they're kind of controlling the supply and the demand, and service contracts on renewing all those existing reactors that are out there. Right now we have something like 260 reactors out in the world, most of them Westinghouse, and it's projected that by 2040, we're going to have 450 nuclear reactors out in the world. So almost, not quite a double, but getting close. So this will be an interesting, that's a lot of supply increase, or a lot of demand increase potentially for CCJ's fuel production on uranium ore. If we're looking big picture, just supply and demand, there's potential that this goes higher. So these are interesting ones to look at. GE Veranova ripping off, getting near targets. Be careful here. Be careful. We might get another pullback here. This one's been ripping for a couple weeks. This was the entry here. This is the target. We can pull back. All right. SMR, new scale, into the small modular reactor, SMR market. This looks like we're going to go ramping on up, hit the target 35.78, then watch out. Can it keep going? Sure. I mean, we saw that extension over here. If we copied that same extension right here, I'm going to turn off that magnet thing. It's going to annoy me. Yeah, 1618 right there. Look at that. Beautiful. So if we just copy this move right there, there's your target. 52. Kind of crazy how this stuff works, right? Kind of crazy. That's kind of the high overview of nuclear charts and what we're looking at. Jumping over. All trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance, not necessarily indicative of future results. Just because they're patterns, they work, doesn't mean that they'll work moving forward. They may just all break down and we never get it right again. I don't think so, but maybe. This presentation intended to be informational, educational, fun, entertaining, not a recommendation to be buying or selling any financial instrument, including stocks, options, bonds, forex, futures, cryptos, treasuries. Don't long them, don't short them, don't trade them. Unless you know what you're doing or you have some confidence in what you're doing. You have some high probability patterns and you got a plan. And if you don't have a plan, you don't know what you're doing, and then you just want somebody to tell you what to do, guess what? Hire and consult a financial advisor. They're the people that have a fiduciary duty to tell you what to do with your own money. And let's be honest, you should trust them, all right? Make sure you trust that person before you hire them. If you don't know, they don't offer a free consultation, and make sure you trust them. And, well, don't hire that person. As my one piece of advice with the market. Look at the calendar as we wrap up this week. Everything's been just kind of all week. We yesterday saw flash manufacturing, flash services come in a little hotter than expected. Unemployment claims came in, just basically in line. We're seeing the new home sales coming up at 10 o'clock today. And everybody's like, OMG, what happened in the pre-market to cause the market to drop? Right? OMG, OMG, what's going on? Well, yesterday I told you we were going down. I don't know if you believe me or not. Why didn't you believe me? Ooh, I clicked on the alert. Believe that. So I outlined that we would probably get down to 57.60 yesterday. And well, here we are. Guess what? Now, here's the thing. Is this part of the bigger correction? Is this 5 down now? Do we get a 3 up and then another move? Or basically what I'm looking for is this part of this move right here? And then we get a nice move up here and a nice move here. This is just a little baby. Remember, this is, they're all fractal in nature. We're just on the smallest time frame here. So when I say 5 down, I'm not talking about the big 5 down I've been talking about on the daily chart. All right, we don't have a 5 down on the daily chart. We just have one little blip. One little blip off the top right here. One little whoop. So what I'm looking for on the daily chart. Gotta have your time frame right. Are we looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Do we get 5 like this? Or do we get 1, 2, 3 like this? This is what I'm banking on right here. This is what I want. That's what I want right there. I want 3 down into this vicinity. That sets us up to go to new all-time highs. Hey, thanks for being a channel's member. Hugh, channel supporter. Welcome. Welcome. This is what I want to see us go higher in the end of the year, maybe even into next year. If we get the 5 down situation, which I don't even have drawn on here because I don't want to bring that negative karma. But if we get the 5 down and then a 3 up, that sets us up for big, nasty down. Certainly below 4,000. Maybe worse than that before we make an all-time high. And it's like, is it that bad? Yeah, it's that bad. Now, this first initial move off the high doesn't tell me squat yet. All right, don't know much yet at all based on what we got. We've got to have more information. Got to have more information. This little blip, not enough. Now we may do a 1, 2 and get a 3, 4, 5. A 1, 2, 3. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 again. And if we do that and go even low, even lower than I expect, that's okay. That would still be an A potential, a B potential, and a C potential right there. Then the next move is what tells us where we're going. So we got to have more information here. This little 4 candles off the top on the futures doesn't tell us much. We're going to gap down when this opens here. Going to be near the daily roadmap line. Remember, I've been talking about, you watch the 15-minute. When we get below it, you watch the 30-minute. We're going to gap below it. We get below it, watch the 1 hour. We're going to be dang near close to it today. We get below that, watch the 4 hour and the daily, because those are in the same spot almost exactly. Almost exactly in the same spot right there. Right in the heart of the danger zone. S5TW, stocks above the 20-day, coming down nicely. Expecting this to go back below 20. Right there before we have the next big reversal higher. S5FI, stocks above their 50-day. Probably going to come back to the bottom. And this one might take a little while. This doesn't usually just happen fast. Usually takes a couple weeks to transition from the top to the bottom and the bottom to the top. S5TH, which is stocks above their 200-day. We're probably going to make a little dip again, but I don't expect big moves. Maybe go back into the 30s before we take it higher again. I do expect this to come back to the top before the next major correction. ES, now this is going to freak a lot of people out. This correction is going to freak a lot of people out. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. We're probably going to come down. This could last well into Q3 even. Doesn't have to wrap up fast. My preference is to wrap this up in the next couple weeks, but it's possible that we extend this out. Russell here. Oh, baby. If we get down in here today, I'm going to book out that put spread I bought. I may even book that out right away. Like after I get off of here, I might book it out. It's up to you. Do you want to go for the bigger, deeper correction, or does the volatility spike? Is that juicy enough for you? VIX, look at her go. Look at her go. I was hoping for at least something up in here. Those 30s, they're probably looking pretty spicy. here in the pre-market. We just needed the monthly OPEX on VIX. It broke it free. Let's see. Yeah, we don't have options for VIX. Lame. Lame. All right. Moving on. Looking at some other stuff. Oil taking a hit on the nuclear stuff. I mean, not really a big hit. Still grinding in here. That's still a 3-wave correction. Looking for that next move higher. Right there. GC. Looky. Hey, when I'm on it, I'm on it. Can't make this stuff up sometimes. It's interesting it didn't save my chart whatsoever. That's cool. So there's that first move right there. Here's this move. Went really fast right there. And here's this move. Guess where we're topping out? Right there, baby. I don't know. Sometimes it's easy. That's almost scary easy though, right there. Now this has the possibility to pull this on up here. But it also has the possibility to top out here and start this next move down right there. If you're in the gold rush trade, it might be a smart idea to take the money and run. It might be a smart idea. Take the money and run, as however the song goes. I'm just saying, like, higher than this is not guaranteed. It's starting to look a lot like that was an A wave, that was a B wave, A wave, a B wave, and this is looking like 5 up for a C wave, and this was the origin point right here. This was the A wave. This is the B wave. 3 waves in the B wave, and then the C wave takes us down. It's gonna crush everybody's hopes and dreams on gold. Everybody's gonna be like, "What the fork happened?" Yeah, it's gonna be a wild ride. Bitcoin taking that spike back from yesterday. As I said, I kind of expect this to come back down, at least in this vicinity. And it might be out here just a little ways, back around that 92,000 area. That's what I expect after one swift move up with no pullbacks hardly whatsoever. I mean, you could kind of 1, 2, 3. I have a real hard time with this. Like, maybe this is super bullish, and that was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in there. Barely distinguishable stuff in. I mean, maybe. I don't know. Hard to make out subwaves in that. It has been pretty bullish. And a nice big fat pullback into this vicinity right here sets us up for those upside targets at the 150, 170 area like I've been talking about. We can see that right up in here. See this fib line right here? That would be the 1. That would be the 2. Measured bounce projects us up, potentially up to that 100. See the number right there, 167. Right in there. That would be if we can get that pullback, that sets up that. If we don't pull back and we just rally on higher, we could top out in the 120s, and that'd be the end. And we go down in crypto winter. I want to see the pullback. That's healthy. Ethereum just chopping on the roadmap line, not really being clear. NKD indicating that we are on a path to come right back down here, taking the US market with it. Global liquidity down, sucking down with it. Bitcoin probably going to go with it. Dollar. Man, it erased everything I drew yesterday. That's cool. So this right here, 618 retrace. If we break back higher in the coming days, probably going on up to the roadmap line here. If we push on below this level right here, probably coming on down to that target right over there. Simple as that on the dollar. And dun, 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 dun. I just said it would be a smart thing. I'm sticking with the plan, but for a gold rush. I'm just saying, like, I stick to the plan because the plan, you know, that's my personal bias. Like, it might be a smart thing to book profit. I mean, if you got it. Apple, that's a sideways correction so far. Just more of the same chop in the same zone here. It's been unable to push through that gap down. It just supports my theory, you know. People were buying here. They got caught on the gap down. They doubled down as it got back up close to the gap right here. Let's sell. I just want to get out, right? And the people that bought right there, double down. I just want to get out. Oh, get out. And then people that bought right here, double down. It comes back up. I just want to get out and reaction again. That creates this resistance, and we still haven't filled the gap. So there's still more people that haven't gotten out. So we could see the spike again and another pullback. Now, bigger picture, that looks like a first move down, a retrace, and a potential to go down further. Be careful out there. Maybe not that aggressive. Maybe like that. Something like that would look. It looked like Apple's correction was done if we went down here, right in this vicinity. Amazon, we stopped cold right on that 618, which supports potentially going down to 140 or so, 150, 140, 150. Google still looking bullish, taking back the candle yesterday. I mentioned if we get to that 180 area, this move might be done. We might get the 618 retrace. Right back down in here. You know, 154 might be the next support down on the Google. So I'm going to watch for that. I'm probably not going to sell any more puts until we get a pullback on Google. Meta. This is a little bit of a coin flip. We pushed above the danger zone. If we drop back down in here, want to see that roadmap line hold. If we don't, could see a 618 retrace. If we don't hold that, this actually could go lower. Back down in this box right here. This move down doesn't really feel like it was complete, even though we made the lower low right there. Nice big 618 retrace and then another flush. That would make it feel complete. So I'm cautious here. I still think easily this one could be a double even from this level, but there's distinct possibility we take another 50% retrace here. Back down in this zone. Microsoft still set for that push on out to 489. Upside, different chart. This one's very bullish and did. And when I talk about that, those other charts not having that big 3-wave thing, this one did to an ideal spot. So this one's on a different path than the rest of the Mag 7 stuff that we've already looked at. Google potentially with Microsoft, but not quite as clean. NVIDIA, that's one big sloppy move down. The retrace. This could easily result in a lower low. I really want to see this. If and when it retraces, I want to see it hold in here about a 618 and bounce if we're going on up to the target up here. I know lots of stuff drawn on here. JT, that's a lot. And these were the prior targets on the downside. We got both of those. We left this one untouched. I've had that one on the chart since back here the summer of last year, almost a year now. That, looking for that support right there. If we don't hold it, we very well could come down here to that target that we've left untouched. Salah, Tesla hanging out under that 618 level for the big drop here. Came back up, finding resistance. I do kind of expect this to retrace back down in the vicinity of the roadmap line, somewhere around 300, 310-ish. That would be kind of positive. See how we bounced off the bottom of it, poked through, chop a little bit, come back down, touch the top of it. That would kind of reaffirm that that's a positive, good support level, and we could go higher right there. And we already touched on CCJ and those. I go pull all the gainers, things moving up $2 more in the pre-markets. Dang, that worked out. I put it on the gainers list. I pull up everything moving down $2 more. I put it on that decliners list. And then we come and look for opportunities here. That one working out right there. That was the roadmap pattern. There's the high, there's the low. We came into it, retrace, that's trend, pull back. Here's the continuation. Target right there, 745. Beautiful. LEU, potential to come on up to 140. CG, stalling out here, but potential to come up to 393. GLD, as I warned, be careful, be careful, be careful. This is the bigger picture, downside target, right at the roadmap line, right there. MRUS. Let's see what we got. There's the high, here's the low, kicking off. Like if we get the daily close up right here today, above that 618 level, 67 becomes the target here. This one. ADSK, Autodesk, set up the target right up there, 341. We have a little bit of resistance to this prior high. Once we poke through it, 341 is the operative upside. Ugly and leverage stuff. Be careful on those. If you got profits in ugly, probably should book it. Profits in GDXU, maybe you should consider booking it. Probably going on up. 103. It's another VenX, and that's one I didn't have on the list. NLR. It's VenX. Uranium and nuclear ETF. Looks like we're set to rally on up to 103. There. BWXT. Wow. Well, that hit the downside target. So bigger picture, trend, pullback. So we're looking for the continuation. Got to get above this 618. Haven't got the daily close yet. Need it above that 618 level, right in there. Somewhere up in here. Indicate we're going higher. 145 would be the upside target on that one. TLN, 275 upside target. UVIX, shiny, that's another leverage. VIX, VIXE, Nugget, 2X Bull. Lots of leverage stuff on here today. Watch out. This is starting to be an overlapping downward channel. VST, right in the danger zone. That technically did complete the close above. 75% likely to go up here. But we still have 25% we could fail and go down here. AEM. Potential to go down here. UVIXE, another leverage in an E. There's a nanonuclear. Get a nice little pop. That's resistance. Be careful. We can easily make a third leg down, which looks very probable on this chart. Grab that three move. This doesn't have much history, so I don't really have a ton to work with here over here. If we were going to take another leg down for this area, could come down back to the 12 area for NNE TECS 3x. Yeah, another leverage thing. I'm just gonna like all these leverage things. Be careful. TWM. Another ultra short on Russell. It may continue to pop if Russell continues to decline. Now we had like almost 200 decliners today, so I'll just hit a few of these looking for opportunities. Deckers. Well, I mentioned that as long as we were below here, that was a real possibility. W day, just chopping, not really indicating anything. With the way this is going, it might be showing enough weakness that we get a blast down to a lower low. You know, W. This has been, for those of you that looking at this, this took way too long for the roadmap pattern right here. You can see that it caught little bitty ones inside here, but it's not looking at that bigger picture pattern because it took way too long to set it up. So just in case you're confused on that aspect of this, right there is kind of a speed component. When they're very sluggish and lackluster, my algorithm won't pick it up. This big move down, big move up, closed above. Odds are we're going up here, 1300, but it doesn't negate dipping down again before we do that. Ross Stores just chopping. Look how long that's been chopping. Almost a year and a half. ASML. Oh, look at her poking up through the roadmap line. Get a little pullback. This is positive right here. If we can hold this vicinity. Here's the high, here's the low. Even if we go just a little bit lower, maybe down in here, looking for that next move up. Somewhere in here. That could potentially be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got to hold above here to maintain that. So as long as it can find support right there, make a higher high, it will probably correct back to the same area. And then set up the bigger move higher. Oh, I got that almost perfect. That's the potential on ASML right there. Then we'll probably, like, why not put it at the big target? I'll probably pull back from there and then go for that target. Just based on the price action off the low that we've got cooking so far right there. That's a lot it's got to get right, but that's the potential path right there. That's like the ideal potential path. Most stuff goes to the targets, but it doesn't necessarily take the ideal potential path. Race looks like we're coming back down to the roadmap line, and then potential bounce up to 530. Back down to the lows. Nasty. Let's see, Goldman Sachs. Ooh, I like it. Come on down, baby. That should be pulling FAZ down. JPM. Let's see what we got. Yeah, FAZ. We were up higher than that in the pre-market. Look for that spike on up to about 550. That X. Got the low, we got a high. Coming down, looking for support right here. And then the bounce right there. Snow, look at that beautiful son of a chart right there. Oh my gosh. So beautiful. So we're coming into the, off of this retrace right here, we're coming into the target right there. That can result in a retest of this big downtrend of highs. Retest. Goes all the way back here to 2021, 2024, 2025. We might need to retest that. It's very common. When we break out, we come back, retest. As long as we hold this trend line, upside target, near term, right there. Big picture. Yeah, I can't even draw it because I don't have enough candle data to work with, but yeah, we could be talking about 1,000. This is one of those very interesting technologies for optimizing data centers. Net Cloudflare. If anybody's been with me for a while, you know I've been talking about Snow and their technology since over here. Back in this area. Talked about how we were going to make a lower low. We went up here and then promptly made a lower low late last year. This is just one of those like technology things. I already did Amazon. You have to go back to the beginning. Just rewind. XL1. Probably come back to the roadmap line. ARM. Already did all the Mag 7s. Oracle, just kind of hanging. Yes, that one's on the path. 279 up here. MDB, still hot in the bottom. Applied materials. Looks like that one got a little beat on the top, missed on the bottom for earnings. Getting a retrace. Probably going to come back down to the 618 level here. Right in there. Let's see. DKS. Oh, look at that. Still on the path. Going lower. Capital One. Coming back down. Roadmap line. APO. And a little bit of a coin flip here. Does it hold the roadmap line and break down, or can we break it out? Not sure which. I mean, actually, I drew this probably when we were back here. It's kind of wild. Core weave just keeps being crazy. That one can keep on keeping on being crazy. Irrational. But when it ends, it's going to end spectacularly because of this. If anybody starts telling you to buy core weave that shouldn't be a stock trader, like an Uber driver, coffee shop person, siding guy, window replacement guy, plumber, anybody, pilot, stewardess, anybody that isn't a stock trader person, anybody's telling you, like, I got to tell everybody to buy core weave, watch out. We're getting near the top, and it's going to do this. Be careful. Core weave is just one of those crazies, and it's going to keep being crazy until we find the top, and then we'll probably chop and take it right back down. This is an interesting one to me. I put that alert on there for a reason. That's 3 up to a new high. So this actually looks like let's see, grab my analysis. Then we're going to do this. And then do this. Send me a new alert on IDR. That's a gold miner right there. I do believe. Anyway, moving on. Oh, beauty, still looking rough. Resistance at the roadmap line. And I think the downside's not done yet. That one owes me money, but figure out a later date when to try to get the money. Reddit has potential to go down, but also it is hope. Golly, excuse me. That strawberry monster talking back to me. And we're at a 618 bounce potential right here. Interestingly, a couple days back, I saw a large order come through my dark pool scanner for Reddit. It is at a support. So if you are inclined, well, RDTL, if you're inclined to try to take advantage of that right here, maybe like, well, how high might we go for? So right here, if this is going to play out, that would be the upside right there, right? That would be the upside. It's like 57% on Reddit. So RDTL with the leveraged ETF, supercharged ticker. I didn't necessarily take this trade in supercharged, but 57% upside can result in 100% upside. So up to 24 from 13 or 12, whatever. Depends on if you're going from the current price or from the bottom. I go for the bottom, so 100% upside. Now that's the conservative target. If you're going for the more aggressive, like 120%, be right up in here, about 26. So not a big variance, just $2 more. So that area right in there, if you think Reddit's going to bounce. If. That's a big if, you know. It's got to, like, it could come up here. It's already double topped right there, so possible we just go to there. Possible. Which would only be a 26% move up. And it's possible we break down here and go lower low. Everything's possible. What's probable? We're holding that 618 really well, so maybe somebody knows something. BA. I would watch for this to come back down and hold the roadmap line to set up the next upside. UKTA, that hit the target. Watch for the next retrace. MU just churning in the resistance zone. Energy at the target. Watch for a retrace. GE regular aerospace at the target. Watch for a retrace. CEP. This one's going to keep being crazy as Bitcoin potentially breaks on out. TTD turning down off the roadmap line. Watch for that to come on back down. 618 retrace would not surprise me. Right here, something down in this vicinity. Right down in there. And Airbnb, probably going lower. Yeah, it's like a first move down, retrace. You know, this has been a downtrend channel. Watch for this to continue down for now. PDD. Not being bullish yet. ILMN. Can't find a bottom. Robinhood. Target's 75, 74, 74, 75. Let's see. Rubric. Hitting the targets. Be careful. That one needs a pullback. Baba. Still bearish. Big picture bearish on that. That's like a first move down, retrace. Next move down could take us down to 82 area. Can't find a bottom. Get near the roadmap line. And the one setup that was on the chart today, ACDC. Low price stuff, so be careful here. Can't say that this setup is dynamite, but downtrend. So that's working against us. Little pop, pull back, move up. Can it get up here? It's going to have to get higher than we've been for a long time to get to that target. So that's why I'm like not so sure this is dynamite. 1052 would be the upside, and it has no statistical history whatsoever. It's a loser. It's a loser, baby. So be careful. Be careful if you chase that one. I probably would ignore it. Expectation for today, wrapping up the week. Remember, Monday is a holiday. I will be live with a crypto spectacular special. But what did we expect? This was completing 5 down right here. Potentially completing 5 down. So I would expect over the coming days into next week, we see a 3-wave retrace to this level and then continuation to the downside. So I think we're going to have some upward pressure for the next day or 3 in the market. You know, big, long, fat weekend. So we'll come back at it Tuesday and see where we're at. All right. Hope you have a great day. Remember, the account you save may be your own. Nobody's watching out for your money but you. All right, nobody cares about it more than you do. I promise. No matter how much you pay somebody, they don't care about your money more than you do. And if you don't care much about it, they're not going to care much about it. They're going to care about making some of it into theirs. So be careful out there. We'll see you again on Monday if you come back for your crypto. And if you don't, see you on Tuesday for another Morning Monster. Have a great weekend, everybody. Enjoy it. Cook some ribs, cook some meats, cook some chickens, cook some hot dogs, hamburgers. Enjoy time with family. That's all you got. The limited time.